Since the time of the cavemen, mankind has demonstrated its power with magnificent works of engineering. From the construction of the pyramids in ancient Egypt to the luxury city of Dubai with its artificial island in the shape of a palm tree. But would you believe me if I told you that there is a project that promises to leave this island in its infancy and threatens to break all current architectural patterns? An urban project that has never been seen before, proving once again that only the imagination is responsible for breaking all the boundaries we know? If you are one of those who believe that the future is now, then stay, because this is the answer to many of today's problems. Welcome to our channel, a place where the concepts of everyday life as you know it today are a thing of the past. I invite you to subscribe and not miss any video we upload by activating the notification bell. Content development. An urban lifestyle revolution. This is how Neom, the design firm behind the project, presents its most cutting-edge suggestion. A 200-meter wide modern structure to be constructed in the Saudi Arabian region of Tabuk. 9 million people will reside on 34 square kilometers of land, 500 meters above sea level. You're probably trying to figure out how anything like this might be made. Here is all the information you require about this incredibly ambitious endeavor. You may recall the children's television program that depicted people from the future residing in highly developed technological environments. This project and the person who designed it are based on that concept, and that's what this undertaking and the creator of it are all about. Can it be done? Let's investigate. The $500 billion Neom project, developed by Prince Mohammed bin Salman, is a component of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 plan to diversify the economy and lessen reliance on oil. Other futuristic communities in Saudi Arabia that Neom plans to develop include Oxagon, a floating industrial complex, Trojena, a mountain air resort with skiing, cycling, water sports, and more, and Sindala, an opulent island in the Red Sea. All this technology, innovation, and commitment to the future comes at a price. $500 billion will be used to build some 2 million homes, each worth around $500,000. Will the line be an exclusive, expensive place to live? The fact that it will be self-sustaining and environmentally friendly may help to keep the cost of living down. Design beyond our understanding. The line is built on a concept called hyperproximity, where design is one of the most important aspects. It is designed to run on 100% renewable energy and be self-sufficient. Why does this matter? The 80,000 residents of each module will have access to all the services they require within a 5-minute walk of their dwellings. A high-speed railway that can travel the 170 kilometers of the line in 20 minutes will connect all the modules. And to hide the less attractive components from view, the approved autonomous vehicle tracks and the transportation lines will both be underground. No other urban region has a similar extension, which is curious because it gives you an indication of how big this metropolis is. The city would travel the same distance between Amsterdam and Brussels to put it into perspective. Amazing, isn't it? A representation of the zero-gravity urbanism theory, which holds that buildings should be erected vertically, one on top of the other, to maximize space for homes, parks, workplaces, and schools. The line is an urban revolution that prioritizes upward development. All residents will be able to leave their car keys in the drawer because the city has everything they need for transportation, making 4 wheels illegal and superfluous. They can also say goodbye to high gas prices and hefty repair costs. With no CO2 emissions and no traffic accidents, it is hoped that this, along with an ambitious healthcare system, will prolong the lives of the line's inhabitants. World-class construction challenge. From the outside, the city will be covered by a mirror that will hide the mega architecture between the sand dunes and the arid landscape that surrounds it. With the launch of the line, we are embarking on a civilization revolution that puts people first, based on a radical change in urban planning, explains Mohammed bin Salman, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and Chairman of Neom's Board of Directors. The line will address the challenges that humanity faces in its daily life in the city today and shed light on alternative ways of living. Additionally, it will contain a robotics and artificial intelligence system that will constantly analyze data to manage everything that occurs on the line. Although this raises the problem of how privacy will be protected for its residents, this is a different matter that will be discussed at the appropriate time. This is, by all accounts, the ideal city for its citizens. Those who will have access to subscriptions similar to those from Netflix, having no desire to cook. You'll always have access to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The line, the impact of a project for the future. With the consolidation of all activities into a single large urban line, it aims to reduce the carbon footprint. It is anticipated that it will only affect a traditional city by 2%. The architectural complex intends to be the location with the fewest emissions in the world, with a housing capacity of 9 million people, roughly the same number of people that reside in London. But not everyone is happy. Despite claiming of being a super environmental metropolis, it was essential to evict every resident of the area chosen for building in order to establish Neom and all it will feature, such as the line. In this regard, 3 Huwaitid tribesmen who were forcibly evicted from the Neom site in Saudi Arabia have reportedly been given the death penalty, according to the human rights organization Al-Qst. The eviction had been contested by all 3. After the decision was made, Abdullah Al-Juraywi, Al-Qst's events director, said, "These outrageous rulings once again demonstrate the Saudi authorities' callous disregard for human rights and the cruel measures they are willing to take to punish members of the Huwaitid tribe for lawfully protesting the forced eviction of their homes." The future has begun. The plan's creators have posted on social media that work has started on building the future city and that a 120-kilometer-long framework has already been created for a flat, horizontal foundation that will be used to build the city's walls, which will be curved by 20 centimeters per kilometer to prevent future problems. After the first phase is finished, the construction team will have to erect the walls, which will be shielded on all 4 sides by enormous mirrors. These mirrors will shield the city from desert sandstorms and lessen the visual impact of the building project because only the desert will be reflected in the city. The remainder of the city will need to be constructed later, including high-speed trains that will let people to travel the 170 kilometers from one end to the other in 20 minutes, as well as parks, businesses, and services. Keeping with the structural motive, the line would have 3 layers: an open space-filled pedestrian layer at street level, a lower service layer, and a top layer that would serve as the transit backbone. The city can be accessed by flight in little more than 6 hours from 40% of the world because to its advantageous location. According to projections, the line may house 1.5 million people by 2030 and offer 380,000 jobs, with the completion of the entire metropolis expected in 50 years. What if you were one of the first people to reside there? If the answer is yes, be aware of all the limitations placed on your rights as well as their location. Myth or reality? Despite the fact that everything seems exciting and right out of a science fiction movie, many people are skeptical that the line will ever be built since they view it as an impractical and inhospitable endeavor. Particularly, many detractors have questioned the viability and sustainability of these megacities. Building 170 kilometers of skyscrapers would take an eternity. A 1-kilometer-long dam in China took about 8 years to develop and construct, while the new World Trade Center in New York took 10 years. So far, those responsible for the Neom project have insisted that the line, although a very ambitious project, will be completed. Antony Vives, Neom's town planning director, said, "I want to be clear. Neom is a complex, bold, and very ambitious project, and it is certainly not easy to implement. But we're making good progress, and it's exciting to see the vision become reality." We'll have to wait and see what happens with this huge futuristic project and whether it comes to fruition. What do you think? Will they be able to make this incredible dream come true? If so, it would be a breakthrough in the way we currently live as a human race. It would be the first example of a sustainable city and would serve as an example to other nations. The important thing now is to focus on reducing our environmental footprint around the world, and the line would be a great way to do that. The line today. Recently released images suggest that workers have already excavated some 26 million cubic meters of earth and rock, or 78 times the volume of the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa. The site, already tens of meters deep in some areas, is packed with hundreds of construction vehicles and probably thousands of workers, themselves housed in sprawling bases nearby. A color-coded photo of the main base camp shows the line's footprint dug into the desert sand, some 60 meters wide according to SOAR's scale bar. With an estimated 1.7 million cubic meters of rock and sand excavated on this site alone, the yellow highlighted line area reveals at least 425 excavators working to shape the future metropolis. Throughout the site, there are also thousands of blue dots that stand in for the 650 cars used by the personnel. The base has several swimming pools, football and cricket pitches, and even its own solar farm with large green shaded panels. SOAR's image analysis of the earthworks suggests that half of the line's planned 170-kilometer length has been built so far and only a quarter of its final area. The project will be 200 meters wide, but this is still in progress. The sections photographed by the satellite range from about 70 to 150 meters wide. The shadows cast by the excavation walls suggest that they extend to a depth of about 20 meters, a hole that will accommodate buildings 500 meters high. The tallest will have to have foundations that extend 60 meters or more underground. Although the line officially begins construction in October 2021, these images clearly indicate that construction began at least a month earlier. With construction underway, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, has hinted at a possible completion date of around 2030. Eighth wonder of the world. The line could be the greatest architectural masterpiece in the history of civilization. So much so, in fact, that if all goes according to the wishes of the Arab dictator and aspiring pharaoh Mohammed bin Salman, the titanic horizontal skyscraper will be a work that, as these new images of its interior reveal, will surpass in ambition and majesty such wonders of the world as the pyramids, Machu Picchu, or the Great Wall of China. And perhaps it will become the ninth wonder because, to a certain extent, the project combines the spirit of these three structures: the minimalist majesty of the pyramids, the self-contained urbanism on a narrow site like Machu Picchu, and the narrow horizontality of the Great Wall. From an engineering point of view, however, this new megastructure is unparalleled on the planet. It makes buildings like the Burj Khalifa and cities like Shanghai look like toys. If all this seems unbelievable, we can tell you that even though the line will be located in the middle of the desert, in the northwest of Saudi Arabia, next to the Red Sea, it will have a cool and healthy microclimate thanks to the internal vegetation and the external mirrors that reflect the sun's rays and thus the heat. What can you do with money? In Saudi Arabia, you can buy anything. And if you want a futuristic city of mirrors in the middle of the desert, you can have it. According to the official website of the Mammoth Project, which has the Catalan Antoni Vives as its town planner, the city will be a civilizational evolution that puts people first, offering an unprecedented urban living experience while preserving the surrounding nature, and always in a big way. If you made it to the end of this video, we invite you to like it and share it with someone you think would live in this bigacity. Let us know in the comments if you think this project will have a happy ending or not, both for those who build it and those who will live there. See you in next video.